Hello and welcome to one more episode of the Digital Transformation Show. Mark, you sound like a very knowledgeable guy regarding technology, regarding web development, and I wonder, how has your journey been with iPaper? We have now heard what the journey of the company has been. What has been your personal journey with it?
So my personal journey starts in about 2003 when I finished high school. I became a consultant for a couple of years. And I did freelance work for this web agency called NoZebra. And that's where the foundation of iPaper was based. That's where these catalog solutions were made by hand, and I started automating it, and slowly it became into iPaper. Back then in 2007, I helped found another company called Trustpilot. I wasn't actually a founder, but I was the second person there. I did all of the code at the beginning for the first 1 year and a half. And at that point, I was working full-time freelance for Trustpilot and full-time freelance for iPaper at the same time. I was also studying computer science on the side. So I was quite busy back then. And at some point, I had to make a choice. Do I want to go on full-time with Trustpilot and commit myself there, or do I want to do it with iPaper? I ended up choosing iPaper and got technically hired in 2008, even though I had worked at the company for 3 years. So that's kind of how I got into iPaper back then.
And what makes a web developer become the CEO of a very big company in Denmark?
That's a good question. I think some of it is luck, some of it is chance. Obviously, I was pretty good at doing development. And back then, I was kind of the typical developer. I had a hat on, it just looked at my task, nothing else. And it just focused on the tech task. I wouldn't say I didn't care about the business, but it wasn't a passion of mine. Somebody else took care of the business, I just made the product. Over time, I thought thinking about the business made more and more sense, because a lot of it, especially in software as a service, ties into the product. So making the right product will support the business in a different way. So more and more often, rather than just going straight to solution, I had to understand more of the business to come up with the right solution. And over time, I just focused more and more on the business side of things. I became the CTO. I had other people helping me doing the development, so I could focus more on the business. And slowly, business just took over more and more time. I started challenging the ones who were in charge of the business, and they did a great job. But all of a sudden, I started challenging them on questions. We had good discussions. And all of it culminated in 2014 when our then CEO chose to do something else. And the chance arose for me to step up and become the CEO.
So do you still code sometimes?
I do. And I think it's a big advantage in a tech company to have a CEO that can not necessarily code, but who understands tech at a deep level. So to keep stay sufficient, to stay knowledgeable, I do still code, yeah.
And are you happy with your choice of having become the CEO of iPaper?
I have, because back then, even though I was a developer, I really liked the business side of things, and this allows me to focus more on the business, but still keep touch with my roots of doing development.
Okay, and speaking of roots, different types of roots, where are you from here in Denmark, Mark?
So I was born in Brabrand, a city just outside of Aarhus, and today I live in Skæring, another city just outside of Aarhus. So I'm definitely based in Aarhus, and I love the area.
So you're pretty much a local here in the city?
I am definitely, yeah.